Okay, and welcome back to White Tiger Kenpo Yellow Belt Lesson 4, in which case I'm going to teach you the two techniques of Twisting Talon and Returning Dragon. For those of you that are familiar with the Tracy system, the name may sound familiar, but the techniques are totally different. Just the concept is the same. So, let's get you started. We'll bow in. Okay, now the first one we're going to look at is Twisting Talon. Now Twisting Talon is A, B, C, and D. They're both, A and B is for a straight arm, C and D is for a cross arm. It's basically to show you two different ways to do the exact same thing. Now when anybody grabs you by the wrist, if you sit there and go or fight against the grip, you're going to lose that fight every time because you're going against the fingers, your arm's already not really in a position of strength. But if you go against the thumb, no matter how hard that grip is, they cannot hang on. So you can practice this if you have a partner simply by putting your arm out. Don't worry about this hand yet, but if you can, put this hand out and then just energize the hand a little bit, step in and bring it right to your chest. Okay, just like that. And if you're doing that right, you should be able to get out of that grip without any effort. Now the technique, we're going to go ahead and grab that hand. Like stop hits, these are just initiations. Afterwards, you need to kind of think of how you want to follow the techniques up, whether if you want to go to a jiu-jitsu move or continue on with your Kenpo strikes. So, A. We're going to grab the hand. We're just going to grab the wrist. This hand doesn't pull. It doesn't yank. It doesn't do anything other than grab that hand. Because as we step forward, we're going to bring this thumb right to our chest into a side horse or fighting stance. And then from here, because of the distance between me and my opponent, I'm going to chop the throat. Okay, so we just grab. Then from here, we kind of energize the hand. Bring it right to our chest as we place the elbow on their arm and then chop the throat, coming over the top. Okay, again, grab, step. As we go from soft bow to horse, we're going to pull. If you want to break it down into the exact pattern, we'll go from here and we'll pull. And we don't really pull, just bring it to your chest. The hand will release on its own. There we go, we don't want to fight those fingers. Just go against that thumb and chop them right in the throat or the side of the neck, depending on how hard you've pulled that arm. Okay, again, A, grab, step in, bring the arm to the chest, take the arm down so that it's under your chop, and chop them in the throat or the side of the neck. Now the B is identical to A, except for the strike. We're going to come in, and we're going to step in, and we're going to elbow. Now we're doing this because of our distance between the opponent. We're now too jammed up to throw the chop, or the arm is in the way, or whatever the reason you have, the chop is no longer a viable strike. So on B, when we come in, we're going to come in and we're going to elbow. Now some students will ask, does it matter if I go to the elbow of the ribs or the face? It doesn't matter. All it means is you just adjust your arm according to what you're targeting. I accept either way. So A, grab, step to 12 o'clock, pivot as you bring the hand to your chest, and chop the throat because you have the distance between you and your opponent needed for a full strike. B, grab, step in, bring it to your chest, elbow the ribs or the face depending on what you're targeting and what you prefer to do for a follow-up. That's A and B. Now, the C and D version are cross-arm wrist grabs. So we're going to grab a little differently. We're going to use our outside wrist lock grab. So the thumb will be placed between any of these knuckles and the fingers grab the meaty part like this. So this is the way it would look on your hand. And all you want to do is just grab. We're not going to pull or yank because there again, we're not going to fight the wrist. And then from here, we're going to step in. Right into a soft bow, roll the hand over going against that thumb. So when you're done, you're going to leave that hand almost right on that thumb. Because if you want, you could drop your body weight ever so slightly onto that thumb and get them to jerk downwards a little bit more. and then pop them in the throat with a chop to the throat. So if you notice, A is a chop to the throat, C is a chop to the throat. Okay, again, the hand is here. Remember, we're not going to lift, so I don't want to see students doing this before they step or just doing it as they step. Okay, this hand should never really leave the wrist, because as you roll over, it's staying right there. You drop your weight ever so slightly down to your triangulation point, and then from here, you throw a chop to the throat. So we got A, grab the wrist, step in because it's a straight arm, chop the throat. B, straight arm, grab the wrist, step in, elbow the rib cage. C, cross arm wrist grab, grab the wrist in this manner as in for an outside wrist lock, come across over and down and chop the throat. Now if you need a refresher on the outside wrist lock or further instructions, check out my videos of Introduction to Jiu-Jitsu, and I'll cover all the basic locks, takedown, and chokes in there. Okay, again, grab for C, step in, roll over, nice tight roll over, keeping it right there on the thumb, and chop the throat. D, we're going to do a different way. Instead of rolling over, we're going to step straight in. So the hand is going to stand there the same way. And we're going to step in and we're going to take our soft bow and we're going to point the arm, just like we're going to elbow the guy in the chin, and go straight up the center line to actually elbow in the chin. So we just step, don't grab, we just hang on, step in, and here. And you should have a wrist lock, so if you want to, you can put your forearm there again under the lock and drop your body weight to get them an extra oomph to the ground. And give them a little jolt of pain to take them down a little further. So, D, grab, step straight in, soft bow to horse as we throw a elbow to the chin, and just let the hand come out of that grip on its own. So, Twisting Talon A, straight arm, step in, chop the throat. B, straight arm wrist grab, grab the wrist, step in, elbow the ribs or the face depending on your targeting and preference. C, outside wrist lock, step, roll over, chop the throat, drop your body weight as you bring the hand back to the wrist. D, and the final one for Twisting Talon is the grab, step straight in, uppercut to the chin. Okay? Then we have Returning Dragon. Now, Returning Dragon is for a shoulder grab from the side. Now, as they grab, we're going to step out slightly as we throw an extended outward block with the right hand, or left hand in check. So your first move as soon as they grab is clear that arm. Take that strike and strike that arm as hard as you can and get as far away from the body as you can, which will open up the targeting that we're looking for. Also, by turning the body, that somewhat neutralizes the other hand so that it makes them harder to counter with another strike. So we're going to step the soft bow, left hand in check, right hand is now cocked by your ear. We're going to revert back to our square horse or a fighting stance as we chop the back of the neck. Okay, so the first two moves, step clear, set up, chop the back of the neck. Then we're going to go into a cradle and crush. We're going to grab the back of the neck, crush them in the head. Okay, so let's take that part again. Step out and clear, left hand in check, left soft bow. After you do your extended outward block and rake, the hand should be by your ear. Back to your stance as we chop the back of the neck. Then we're going to grab and cradle, go into our cradle and crush. Now from here, our left hand is going to forearm. Now what I like to do at this point is kind of shove them a little bit to the end of my tips of my fingers. Okay, so he's just going to roll the neck right along my arm and grab them, and then I'm going to pull them back in. There again, I'm going to use that push-pull, continuously moving your opponent's body so that they cannot get their feet under them, which prevents them from countering whatever it is you're trying to do or throw any kind of a strike that has any kind of power behind it. So whenever you get the opportunity, push and pull your opponent around a little bit. Shift their weight from one side to the next. In this case, after I've done the cradle and crush, I'm going to forearm, but I'm going to push him away. And I'm going to feel it. And just as the bone gets to the tip of my fingers, I'm going to pull him right into that knee strike. Maintain that check, step out. Arm comes all the way up, drop down into a soft bow for a drop of body weight as we elbow the back of the spine. Okay, again, from here, clear, chop, cradle and crush, forearm. Now push them away and pull them in. And as you're pulling them in, drive that knee straight up, set down into a nice solid stance, maintaining that check hand, and drop your body weight with an elbow to the back. Okay, again, clear, chop, elbow, forearm, push, pull them into the knee strike to the body, step out, plant down where you want it so you're in a good stance, drop your elbow into a soft bow using your drop of body weight for the elbow strike. And that's returning dragon. So let's go through these two again, but we'll do them from different angles. Let's start with this angle, twisting talon. There again, remember it's an A version, so we're going to grab, step in, and just bring the elbow or the thumb right to your chest, and then follow up with a chop to the throat of your opponent. Okay, just energize that hand a little bit, and just release it right against that thumb. Okay, this hand doesn't really need to move or pull. So when you're doing this in the air, I shouldn't see this arm off here in the O-zone somewhere. It should be right there near your wrist at all times as you grab. So from here, chop the arm. Okay, again, B, straight arm wrist grab. You can either elbow the ribs or elbow the face depending on your targeting and your distance. So again, twisting talon A, grab, step, chop the throat. B, grab, step, elbow ribs or elbow face. C version, going into an outside wrist lock, hand is in this position for doing it in the air. We're going to step forward to 12 as we do a circle. So we're going to do it counterclockwise. Bring the hand down to your belt as we drop the body weight on it and chop them in the throat. Again, here, step, counterclockwise. Just nice small circle. Bring it down to the waist of your belt. Drop your body weight as you do so and chop the throat. The D version, same grab, but this time we're going to step straight in between your opponent's legs. As we do so, we're going to come contour right up the center line of the body with an elbow to the jaw. Bring the hand back down and drop your weight to bring them down a little bit with the pain that you'll be applying. Okay? Now, returning dragon from this position. As they do a shoulder grab, we're going to step out. Now, stepping out versus stepping in, it doesn't matter. Okay? If you need to step in to clear and get this chop in, then do that. Nothing's going to change about the technique other than the distance between you and your opponent. So as you practice this, try to practice on different sized people. Tall, short, big, fat, it doesn't matter, so that you can learn what you need to do to move each one of those persons, because everybody is different. So as they come in, step out, soft bow, left hand in check, right hand up high. Drop back to your stance as you do a a knife edge strike to the back of the neck. Then you're going to do a cradle and crush back into a left soft bow. Your left arm is going to forearm them as you push them out and pull them back in. And you're going to pull them back in, stepping out to about the 2 o'clock position, somewhere in there. Hold the head in check. Drop your elbow down into a soft bow using the drop of body weight. Okay, again, step and clear. Chop, elbow, forearm, push, pull into that knee, set the foot down, elbow to the back. Okay? Do it from this direction. Straight arm, counter grab, step in, to chest, strike the throat. B, you don't have the room to strike the throat, so we're going to counter grab, elbow the ribs or the face, depending on the distance between you and your opponent. Okay, C, cross arm, hand comes up, over, brings down to your belt, chop the throat. D version, counter grab, still the outside wrist lock, step straight forward using the contour of their body, follow the elbow up, striking the chin, bring the hand back down, and drop your body weight when done. Okay, returning dragon now from this position. Okay, they're going to step out, we're going to clear, chop, cradle and crush, forearm, push them, pull them into that knee, set it down, elbow strike to the back. Okay, again, clear, chop, cradle and crush, forearm, knee, step out, elbow the back. Okay, that's your next two techniques in yellow belt, which is Twisting Talon and Returning Dragon. As always, if you have any questions at any time, please feel free to contact me through the comment section or the chat portal I have opened up within Patreon. I wish you the best of luck, and I hope to see you in lesson 5.